I don't know. I'm interested. Let's go.
I don't have that time. Like, I got to get back to work. That's kind of how that happens.
Well, we should all probably get back to work. But
well, this is work for you, right? But it's a work you like, so it's fine.
This is the type of thing. I mean, there's a lot of things that I do, and I refer to it as what's taking energy from me versus what is giving energy to me, because a lot of what I do gives me energy, and my body may get physically tired, but if my mind is interested in it, I just want to keep going. And I don't take any illegal drugs. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I eat a extremely, remarkably, ridiculously clean diet. All I ever drink is water, although I did have about this much iced tea in the past week, which is the first time in a year.
Your viewers aren't going to be able to relate to you.
Yeah, no one's going to be able to relate to me. But,
I like to drink a beer every now and then. If I'm eating my fajitas, there's going to be a Corona next to it. I don't eat healthy.
I don't eat processed sugar. I don't eat cake or ice cream or candy, any of that. So listen, fruit is the greatest candy that there is. If you don't eat any of that other stuff, when you eat fruit, it's like the best tasting candy that I've ever had. In fact, candy now tastes toxic to me. And just even the idea of it, or processed sugar, it's like, no, because when you eat really, really well, you have an appreciation for how good real and good natural food is.
Okay.
He's not buying it.
No.
Most of you are also probably not buying that.
No,
that's true.
Sometimes you just got to dig into that burger. Okay.
I eat burgers. I just don't eat one with a bun. Okay. I eat meat, fish.
That's not a burger. That is not a burger.
The burger refers to the meat patty, and that's my story. Yeah. I'm sticking to it.
Okay. No, there's nobody that agrees with you.
That's a ground meat patty.
By order of the 366th District Court, I can tell you. Under Texas law,
okay,
it's like certain things that we can define in law, like a firearm is a per se deadly weapon, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, a hamburger has a bun. Like, just there's
Fine.
not.
So at best, I'm a lettuce wrap or a salad.
Right.
I'm a meat salad.
Right. You're whatever
keto. You know
deal.
what they used to call hamburgers? They used to be called meat sandwiches.
That's what it is. I'm not saying it's not. Okay, schnitzel, right?
Yeah.
Schnitzel. Everybody knows what schnitzel is. It's basically ground beef mixed maybe like veal or whatever.
Yeah.
German type of food. It's basically a hamburger patty. Right? So you used to eat that by itself.
Yeah. Which is a schnitzel.
Which is
if you put it on a bun.
If you put it on a bun, then it became like a schnitzel sandwich, and nobody got tired of saying schnitzel sandwich, so they came up with a new word for it, hamburger, because where they think it came from?
Which is Hamburg, Germany.
There you go. Boom.
It's a hamburger.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
see, we're talking history. We're talking vocabulary. So the word of the day is hamburger. And what I eat is not a hamburger.
No.
Apparently, I'll never eat another hamburger.
Clearly not. That's like, there was some TV shows watching the other day. They were having an argument about what is or is not a pizza. And they're like, if you don't have like dough and you don't have like marinara sauce and some kind of cheese on it, it's not a pizza.
I think you can. Well, I think you could do the white. What's the white one called? The white sauce, like a
Alfredo
sauce. I think you can have an Alfredo pizza. So you don't have to have the marinara in order to do it.
Some people would disagree, is all I'm saying. That one's not as.
That's semi-legit.
Whatever.
That's legit-ish.
If anybody's wondering, these are the kinds
of big flat. These are
the kinds of things that lawyers sit and argue about. They're like, "Oh, what'd you do today?" Like, "Oh, no, did you argue some case?" No, I argue with Judge Tom about what constitutes a hamburger.
If you don't do this, then the amount of stress and pressure about law is just, you have to engage that creative part of your brain as well.
There's nothing creative about this. It's
I
just
think
arguing.
Is it we're so entrained to argue? We even have to argue about a burger and a pizza?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to have an argument.
Well, I mean, hey, so my wife is a judge as well, and so people always ask us, well, what do you all argue about at the house? I'm like, her inability to load the dishwasher. Like, that's what we argue about.
Do we have to cut this part?
No, you can put it in there. She knows.
She knows.
It's
now you're enlisting everyone.
It's fine. That's not,
Judge, you ruled against me, but You don't know how to load the dishwasher.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't have any problems. There's certain things that we do well in life and certain things that we don't. And I argue well, but it just depends on the topic.
So
what's her inability of yours?
what do you not do well?
Yeah. What
or
is
right,
she?
according to your?
What is she arguing?
We're
with
not
you?
talking about me right now. This isn't about me.
Please
Look,
please book the other Judge Nowak. No, we need Christine, right?
yeah.
Yeah, Christine Novak. We need to get Christine Novak
she's not
on
gonna
the
come
show.
here. She's a federal judge. She
So
can't do
federal
this stuff.
judges can't do it?
They won't. No.
No?
No.
Fine.
My
What type of
husband,
cases
my
does she
husband describes her as the big deal.
Yeah. Well, the Judge Novak. Is
Yeah.
really how it the
She's the Judge Novak and you're the other
I'm
Judge
the
Novak.
other. Well, I came second anyway, so it's kind of like how that played out. It's the joke I always use that she was a judge before I was, so I'd always have to ask to approach the bed every night. Your Honor, may I approach? I got tired of doing that, so I got them to appoint me. She was always holding me in contempt, just like every other wife. It's fine, all these jokes, they're good.
So what
It's
type,
okay.
what type of cases and things does she handle?
So she's a magistrate judge, so she handles basically all the
scary
preliminary
cases.
matters for the district judges. The district judges in the federal court are the judges who get lifetime appointments. They get confirmed by the Senate.
Oh, so she's not a lifetime
So she's
appointment.
not a lifetime appointment.
Oh,
She's a
interesting.
magistrate judge, and so she handles.
What are her terms?
So their terms are like 8 years, I think. So
Oh.
her term's actually up coming up next year. So
Is she gonna?
maybe after that she can come on your show and tell you
Oh.
all the things that she has problems with, and then you can ask her about those questions. They're like, you're
Can
the
I-
one jumping in, defending
can I-
her honor in here.
Can I,
Like, wonder why.
when I happen to see her
It's
out,
us
can I
women,
ask
we
them
have to
about it and
stick
then
together.
just come back and talk about it on the podcast? So Jennifer, let me tell you about what I found out about Tom.
It's fine. No, but it's it works out really well. We met in law school, so we've learned to deal with arguing and things like that.
When did you get married?
Not long after actually law school. We graduated from law school about a year after we graduated. We got married, a little bit over a year.
How long have you been married now?
16 years.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it feels like 16 minutes gone by.
See, I told you.
Yeah.
If you enjoy what you
16
do,
minutes underwater. I'm kidding. Honey, I love you.
that's your camera right there.
Right,
Tell her.
no, that one's got the light on over there. That's,
I forget.
honey, I love you.
Don't ask me about that stuff.
She no, but I use these. These are like a repertoire I have of like these jokes for the people who come into court and jury service. So we'll go through it. Helps break the ice a little bit. People are intimidated because I wear a black dress every day, and so it makes things a little awkward. But they don't want to talk to me. They're like, oh, it's a judge. I'm just a normal person with feelings, is the way I like to say it. So.
Well, if they see you on the podcast, they can see you actually sometimes wear regular clothes.
I do. This is my comfortable outfit. This is sweatshirt and jeans. I get a lot more done in this outfit than I do like a tie. And then I don't have to shave all the time because when I'm in the Air Force duty, I have to shave. So this is like 5 o'clock shadow kind of stuff.
How are you allowed to, as a JAG? How are you allowed to wear your hair
Short?
short?
Yeah.
So how you have it now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
We're not quite like buzz cut. We're not like the Marines or something where we have to, have no hair kind of a thing.
So can you explain, because a lot of people that are going to be watching this have no idea about this or what JAG is or how do military attorneys work? And can you tell us about your experiences in JAG and even if what you might know about the other branches of the service?
Right, so the branches are mostly the same. There's a little bit of differences between them in terms of how we operate. But, imagine you have to have some rules and some things in place wherever you go. So if you go fight a war in Europe, you got to have kind of American law and American rules in place. And so somebody's got to enforce those, right? Because not everybody's going to be great and perfect and honest sometimes even when they're fighting a war. And they're going to do things that they shouldn't. And so there's rules dealing with how we fight wars. Mm-hmm. There's rules dealing with what people do when they're on base, when they're off base. If people are drunk and when they're supposed to be guarding a post, or if they...
So you're saying that's a problem?
Sometimes, surprisingly. Sometimes if people are, run away, they disappear. And and we get them back, right? So how do we punish those people? What do we do with those guys? Those things have to be enforced. Those rules have to be enforced. And so because we are Americans, we give people the right to have a lawyer. We give people, the government gets a lawyer as well. And then we have trials. We do the things that we do in court every day here, but we just do that in the setting of might be, in some far off place in the world. And the rules are a little bit different. The rules are a little bit different than what you see on day to day for good reasons, right? So if I don't shave and cut my hair, that's not a crime here, but it could be a crime if I'm out in a place where I got to use a gas mask. And if I have hair on my face and the gas mask doesn't seal and I'm going to die and cause people to risk their lives trying to save me, then that might be a problem. And so we have to enforce those kind of rules, and that's kind of a little bit of what I do is enforcing rules that people all have to kind of abide by. We give advice to service members who come in. They're getting divorced, and I can say, well, this is how the process is going to work. We don't represent them in court, but we say, this is what you can expect. We provide wills. If you're going to go fight a war, you might want to take care of some stuff before you go off. So we'll do those kinds of things. And then we also have to provide advice to our commanders. Hey, don't bomb that school.
That's helpful.
It can be helpful, but somebody might be upset if you do that, especially while kids are there.
Right.
So things like that.
That's good advice, Tom.
You might be common sense, but what happens if the enemy puts some rocket launchers on top of that school?
Yeah, I know, right?
What do you do?
Yeah,
what's the rules? How do we decide when we can attack and when we can't? Those are things that occur. And so judge advocates general, help out with that. And
are they
that
the
work.
same name at all 4 branches, or all five?
Yes.
5 branches actually, right?
Right.
Or is there? So Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force now, right?
Yeah,
so it's 6 branches now, right?
There you go. So you got it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all the same. Then those are the general rules that we do, right? So everybody's going to do the kind of same things. We're going to do a little bit differently depending on where we are. Like, we get the knock in the Air Force of having nicer Air Force bases than a lot of places. Army guys, they might be out in a tent out in the middle of the desert, whereas we get the knock that in the Air Force bases we have nicer buildings and things like that.
Well, don't you have to be like near an airport?
We do. Yeah, I mean it's kind of one of those required things. I don't fly. It's always perpetually. My son was always disappointed. I'd come back from Air Force duty, like, Dad, did you fly a plane this time? I'm like, no, I don't ever. Nobody's gonna trust me with a $70 million jet. It's not gonna happen. So at least not yet.
I think I watched Top Gun too late. I should have done that. I should have been a fighter pilot. I should have been either a fighter pilot or a race car driver. I think that would have been my calling. But nonetheless, here we go. You know what I could not have been? Was a doctor.
Because you fainted at the sight of blood, or what?
So when I was in high school, there was this program where you could go into the schools, because I played the game of life, right? It was doctor and lawyer, and doctor was number 1 and lawyer was number 2. So I was like, I'm gonna go, typical type A overachiever, right? And I went and did this hot program where you go into a hospital. I made it about 45 minutes. And I was like, nope, can't be a doctor. I'm like, it's a skill set that I don't have. Maybe if I had to and it was war and it would shock me into a different mindset or different. I think I have the capacity, but not under free choice, not unless absolute complete necessity.
I don't know. I don't get too weirded out about it. I was a prosecutor once. We went down to the medical examiner's office, and they're like cutting dead bodies open and pulling out hearts and brains. And here, hold it. I'm like, that was cool to me. So I don't know that I would. I held somebody's heart. I held somebody's brain. At one point in time. You get these little things that happen. So as a prosecutor, never would have thought that that's something that I would have gotten to do. But we're doing a tour of the medical examiner's office, so we learn how they do their processes. So when we're proving who killed who and how these doctors know what happened to a dead body, we took a tour of that. And so there we are, and the medical examiner's like pulling a heart, and here, you want to hold it? You're like, why not? How often do I get the opportunity to do this? So I don't know.
Not
I think
me.
it's as a lawyer, I got into
I don't know how
experience.
I would have done that. I don't know, because it also does sound cool.
I'm fascinated with the whole process of all of that, but I don't know if
It's
I would
totally gross and
touched
stinky and smelly,
it,
but
yeah.
there's not. I would get very old, like very
I
quick.
have a good friend that's a doctor, and they own their own forensic company,
Yeah.
and she does all that. And I'm just like, oh.
I
Yeah,
think-
and no matter what you do,
Yeah.
the smells are not good. Like
No.
it doesn't matter. It's blood smell or vomit smell or waste, whatever. And then you add in the fact that there's dead people. It just adds to it. Just not. It's not the best.
Body decomposing.
God bless the people that do it. I just can't. That wouldn't be my choice as a doctor.
I think for me, it's that I can't. I have a hard time seeing someone in physical pain. Is probably the hard part. I don't even know that it's as
Well,
much.
that's what you're supposed to help
the
as a
blood or
doctor.
something. What?
You're supposed to help them as a doctor. to
I,
not be in
I
physical
know, but maybe it was because at the
You
time
don't
I was
handle-
completely powerless to help them.
You don't
so
handle
I felt
death
like
well.
I don't
so
handle
that,
death well.
That would not be a good choice
Like
for you.
the other day, like it almost took me out of the rest of the day. I was at a conference and I saw a friend of mine I haven't seen in years, and I was like, "How's your dad?" And she goes, "He passed away a year and a half ago." And I almost I'm getting choked up even talking about it now. Like it's just
Yeah.
It's an empath over here. It's okay.
really.
Yeah.
Am I?
Maybe.
Is that it?
I don't know.
I mean, I like empaths. I just don't know that I would feel okay being one. I don't know my self-image likes that. Because I just want to be. I want to be someone that's strong enough. Well, I am pretty sympathetic to people, and I'm definitely very sympathetic to our clients. I understand what they're going through, and I want to stop their pain. Like I like ending intellectual or emotional pain. Physical pain to me is I just feel powerless, and that frustrates the heck out of me. And I just like, if there's nothing I can do, there's no worse feeling to me on earth. Except maybe actual physical pain of, this body. But,
Just comes with age.
so on the diet thing, why I don't, it's because I won't be able to walk if I do, because I have inflammation issues. That's why I carry a cane at the courthouse and things, because I generally always have to have a cane nearby. And if it happens to me and I'm in court or something, I have a problem. So like 99% of the time, and probably because of my diet, I don't have the problem. But if I have a problem, like it's a problem, because I'll have a disc in my back that gets inflamed and bulges, and it feels like somebody is electrocuting me. Not pleasant. So that's why I don't eat hamburgers. That's why I can only eat schnitzels.
I eat all that. And I don't have those problems, so it's fine.
You're blessed.
I just don't go to doctors. When have you ever gone to a doctor and they've just been like, everything's great and fantastic?
Yeah, they can never actually. The best
Like,
news
you
they can
look
give
like,
you is
like you're better off than you were 5 years ago. Like, do they ever
Right.
say that?
No. No, the best news they can give you is, well, nothing wrong yet.
Right. Like, but
But
there's
one day they're
always a
going to
but.
give you some news that will cripple you
It's best to
and
avoid that
destroy
whole
your entire
situation.
self-worth.
It's no fun. No, I don't go
Yeah.
see doctors. It's fine.
They're
I'm
kind
not
of
at-
kind of like the news. All they can give you is bad news. I don't know. It's good news. No problems yet. I think is good news.
Something like that. Again, I haven't heard any bad news because I don't go to the doctor. It's fine. I'm not advocating everybody else do
Do
that.
you go to
but
the
I do.
dentist?
I go to the dentist.
You have to go to the dentist, I think, because things just
Yeah, but a
start-
doctor can't like clean off the
Right.
the stuff inside. There's not like he can take a.
They can
take a
if
thing.
you have to have surgery.
Well, but I don't know. I'd rather no. It's fine. I can see my teeth. It's fine. I can't see the plaque in my artery.
Do you go to
Your-
one of the
your
dentists
teeth
that
has-
they have the photo things and they show you?
No, I mean,
Dude, go to one of those. It's remarkable because one, you actually can trust that dentist, and two, it'll shock you a little bit. It's
What,
like-
the X-rays?
no,
not-
those are where they stain your teeth and show you where all the
no,
plaque is.
no, it's not.
What?
No, X-rays, but there's also like a camera that really like shows
That
you not just the
rotates.
inside, but the outside and everything about it, and you're like, oh, I do miss that spot, like stuff like that, and where it's like you may have a cavity developing here, and you really can see it, and that the doctor is not there just pulling your leg and trying to rip you off, so. I really like my dentist.
I
But,
can tell.
Yeah. I drive to Garland to go to the dentist from here.
Which is what, 35 minutes away, 40 minutes
Yeah,
away?
about 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
When there's a dentist like at the end of the street, I'm sure. But when you find a good dentist, keep them.
This is the same for lawyers, right?
When you find a good lawyer, keep them.
I have the same dentist as I had as a kid.
Really?
Yes. I've been going to him since I was a little kid.
Well, if there's any problems, you know who to blame.
Right, I was gonna say, nobody.